Hello everybody and welcome back to my Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough. For the last time we had gone ahead, we did Silas's stupid mission, and then we almost died because he sure as hell doesn't want to give us any information. Seriously.
Sunfall. The Mad King Duran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this, Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Not an enemy. That's the fun part. The Shadow technically aren't our enemy. By the way, this episode might have a bit more visual glitches. Not because I expect we'll be going into an area that will cause issues. It's more of I'm uploading something, and I know that's usually when it suffers the most.
Only the finest goods here. See?
There we go.
The subway on. Proud tradition.
It's not like this in Woodland.
As long as I don't get hurt.
Now we get to see if you attack on their focus network as a time
my rations today. When I asked
Success. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment. In the meantime, circulate.
Okay.
Outlanders, if you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here. Filthy mercenary bottom feeders.
Why was that?
Shards, even if it means having to listen to Bahavas.
I hear the Shadow Carja are looking for one of their own. Should pay well.
To weed out enemies and traitors.
By the glory of the sun revealed.
I don't remember this.
Radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King. The light in shadow.
Uh-oh.
Whose
I feel
will
like we're not
is light
fucking
and
around.
whose light is law.
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
I might be... No, I remember
By
it
the
right,
will
but I don't
of
know.
Radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair. You and I need to chat, little huntress. The green tent down in Shadowside. I'll be waiting.
Kind of busy.
We both know you don't kill for hire. Uthid is innocent. So come see me while there's still time to save him.
So, the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the sun ring from on high. I'm all for the
Okay.
Kestrels.
Sorry, I had
Balustrade.
They want us to
It's a
see
short
this,
drop from
boy.
there.
It makes quite a
Balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
Okay, are you gonna repeat yourself multiple fucking times? Anyway, sorry, I whole deja vu shit. If you've ever had Yeah, it's a fucking short drop, I can tell you that much. Alright, so Ideas deja vu.
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
Okay. I mean, this would just be fucking like one of the cauldrons, right?
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Did you guys actually crack the door?
For identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. Malfunction. Malfunction.
That's not
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
What is this thing?
I underestimated. So by now,
I would back off. Oh.
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yeah.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
So do I actually have a timer?
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We
Oh,
found
shit.
it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Alright. Let's see. From lounge to admin, another incident. This morning, unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich. It's another example of reception need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embroilers, embryologist. What? I know what that means. I'm wondering what the fuck. For example, endermal sedatives, the calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. We need support too. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing Zero Dawn candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of people who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The Langbots are not sufficient. And mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these emails. What the fuck? Why are they... Why are the people so angered and stuff like that.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
This isn't going to be like Portal 2, right? Soundproofing. Maybe it is going to be like Portal 2. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation. The ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. Why are they crying? What are they viewing that is so horrible? Stock or else? For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage veritals, I'm going to lose it. Please respond. And this time, no tempest in the teapot or steep demand jokes, okay? And they're all fucking stressed out. Stressed out. Well, I mean, to be honest, considering where they were, it makes sense. The end of the world was happening right out there.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
So what am I gonna go in there, like a fucking mincer?
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Worry about this.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us.
Ooh.
Here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
Damn. Holy shit. I was wondering why the hell they don't actually try to crack it. I know that they didn't have a back door, but...
Doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
I don't know if she did. I mean, you got embryologists, people are crying and stuff like that. I think they just straight up died. It would make sense that you just got 3D printed.
They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Counselor Guidelines 1. Candidates for debriefing after Presentation 1. Candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It's important to be aware that candidates must have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human race or human life has been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm, Addendum B1, an unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures, Addendum C1, C2, C3, so you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Please be sure to inform security personnel so that the candidate may be monitored for any attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to Presentation 2 if you believe that their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are data corrupt. Holy cow. So they are pretty much ready for everything.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people, they feed off them?
Not just people. All organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pike wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
I don't blame you.
Want to discuss?
Oof.
So, Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bubble serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place? You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go. You previously worked for Faro Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines? I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we could negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes.
Yeah.
With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Yeah.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
I think he's right. I don't think they are getting off the rock. Oh, fuck off.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose.
Apollo.
Now these aren't AIs, but make no
Poseidon.
mistake. Each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware
also
that
Praetor,
preserves
I
and
think
then
it was that.
gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will
Oh
be
shit,
reborn.
that's right. Technically,
The
this place
construction
has
of
crossed
underground
over.
facilities to hold it all.
Ulythia,
And
Hephaestus.
that's just the start. We don't have
Those
to
are the
build
fucking,
the entire
the
system.
sphere poems.
The beauty
Minerva,
of a fully automated
Aether,
terraforming system
Demeter,
is that it can build
Artemis.
itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these
Hades.
functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together.
So what happened with him?
How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about.
Wait, what?
And build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good.
Oh fuck, Minerva.
How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it.
315
We
years.
can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Damn. So they fully accepted they were screwed. But that does mean that there is a super weapon.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot?
Pharaoh,
Why
did
does
you
it wanna
fucking
kill
do
me?
something?
And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
And I don't trust that he ain't a AI. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. Participation. You'll be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You'll be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week. Your communication with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 people of your choosing, will be transferred to Elysium, sealed habitat, to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you'll be confined indefinitely. You'll be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Number 3, medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt out for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you're ready to make your decision or choice, or if you have further questions. God, yeah, that would be fucking... That is fucked up.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
The guy must have been tortured, knowing that the entire world was essentially ending, all because you couldn't. What the fuck is this? I slumbered this spring morning and missed the dawn. I remember where I heard the cry of birds. That night, the sound of wind and rain has come. Who knows how many petals have fallen.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you don't... Get your hands off me!
Sounds like tension for him.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid...
Oh, fuck. I didn't finish that one.
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Let's see, Godwin's 2 for debriefing. It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill set and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chance of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the mortality of extending their lifespan, or the morality of extending their lifespan and those of loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentations as many times as they wish, and allow access to supplemental articles G01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period, during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent, and the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision data corrupt. Oh god, yeah, that's gotta be horrible.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do.
What was that? Oh boy.
Power's down.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus.
That was kind of interesting though that I didn't get hit at all. It was just like it fired at me and then they're like, ah shit.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor. Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
I know there's the question of would you technically want to, but anyway.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists.
but he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair, not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. The counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
Yeah. Need to find the right configuration.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Is that
hey,
that one? Oh,
I'm
was.
done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed...
That did it.
Yeah,
Door
that's
should have
why.
power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Really?
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
So the first guy, or the second guy just absolutely fucking trips. And then the second guy just goes like, oh, well, fuck. I don't know.
Repeat.
Or not.
For the ship.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving.
Holy
have to find
shit.
Gaia.
Yeah, the guy just straight up fucking... Again,
For later.
it was just like fucking... You know, in the middle of combat, the guy trips or gets fucking blasted, so he gets ragdolled. And then he just goes like, ugh! And then just fucking basically trips, and then I just fucking stab him. I was just like fucking the most insult to injury shit. Yeah, seriously, like the guy was like, oh, and then he fucking falls flat, and then he just gets wasted. I'm sure he's like fucking with the rest of his buddies and just, they're like, ah, man, you know, we like got 4 of us wiped out, you know, it's just a shit show, and it's just like, oh, you know, and it's like, oh, you know, it could be worse, you know, you could maybe get screwed, all because of that. And then just like, the one guy's just like, yeah, about that. But what happened? Well, you know how, you died by hitting the trip as well? Yes. So right when you died, I, hit one of the wires as well, and I tripped. Okay, and then I got stabbed in the back. Oh. I can definitely see why you weren't exactly too fond of going out that way. Full steam ahead. Elizabeth to Margot Shen, full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as a Hephaestus. I can't remember how to fucking say his name. Alpha, you need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. I can't. Hey Google, what's the Greek god of forge? Hephaestus? How the fuck do you actually say it? Apparently Google says it's supposed to be Hephaestus. Anyway, case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos, the Sora Kilo 6 is designed for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail, consult with Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcaster towers. Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes, so any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Elizabeth, yeah. While you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection. Sorry, I'm out of it right now. For animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected, given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of her time, but creatures from fossil records too. I find some of her designs so cool. Well, whatever guy thinks of Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. Alright.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs, for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulations, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they...
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
So, I wonder if the derangement is having to do with Hades. They said it was like a good 15 years ago or something like that when the derangement started. I wouldn't be surprised if that's when the cultists started.
Enough.
We do hear about how it was a while... No, technically only 2 years ago was the Red Raids. I don't trust that they're not going to be enemies. It just had me fight 3 fucking waves of enemies without giving me a fucking break.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
You guys ever know about how they code guns in games? So like the whole shtick is that you see how, like, again, this goes through, but like in first person shooters, you go straight up to a wall and yet it like always is seen in front of you. But from the third person view, it's like completely fucked. It's phasing through the wall like this. You ever look into that? It's actually kind of cool.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
I wonder what they think. They're just like, oh shit. Oh, it sounds like something just started up in the background. Encapsulated data, or DNA. And the winner is Encapsulated DNA! Over the past 10 days, I've performed an exhaustive review of the data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum. Even that Eternity test that FAST was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted spaces, too power intensive for over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300 to 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, and of course to start with we need to select the inert material in which we will embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and seal reliquies that will keep DNA at negative 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000+ years. So, long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed, promptuous, I think, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life is a hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much ado. Until next time, peace with you, Sema. Alright. You were not there. But you probably were, because it keeps fucking doing this shit. Or if they walk out of my range, then they get technically wiped. Apollo update. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known. As a result, all Apollo key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up. A bit ahead of the schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 450 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset. Wait, what was it? Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short. Okay. With an attendant curriculum development about to begin. Speaking of heuristic curriculum, they're performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in Aristotle and Aspahi's persona. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Yeah.
All of this lost. The ancients' greatest gift to us.
Greatest? How about the fact we exist at all?
Yeah.
To abide in ignorance is a curse, Aloy. You of all people should know that.
Okay, about to go kill him.
The last of them. Once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders.
Yeah, the audio design for the game is pretty good. I will say it's definitely interesting each time that it goes like... Because again, whenever you try to access a container, it does that little drum thing. Yeah, they were not expecting me to just roll up with a fucking gun.
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth, and my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope
But there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry. And that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
Yeah, I think to be honest, with the situation you presented, you did admirably. I really don't like how they keep fucking making those noises. I know that I killed all the good people, but it still is freaking me the fuck out. Alright, just in case there is one more asset decides to show up.
Welcome to Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do. Which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocating. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Yeah, well, I'm fucking talking out loud so we can both fucking brainstorm. Just because you don't feel like talking doesn't mean it ain't helping. Anyway, for fuck's sake, I really don't like Silence fucking... again, I'm pretty sure he's gonna end up being an AI, to be honest. Let me found Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT codes Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck about commercialized razzle-dazzle. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of citronium runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave. She was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab. Shaking the walls and rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, that girl. Classical music. 80s and 90s mostly. Holy shit, that's gonna be really fucking weird when we get to that point in regards to this stuff. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashcore you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air. You'd feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and the walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gold of Gothic death fifth. Hallelujah. As for the request to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal? Might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident vids. Last time I heard, we're supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool, Trav. Okay, maybe it might be having to do something with Trav, or maybe it might be that Hades has been going at this so many damn times, and he's been having issues. Tate here just pops 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out Goldilocks solution to the guy's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control by breaking her fingers. Sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretends to relinquish control. Simulation after simulation, Hades would take control of the terraforming system and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its mirrors. Sneaky, I swear ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity. Then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair, work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it works. It'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong, guess it's time to sleep in bed. I'll be back tomorrow, alligators. Yeah, I think Trev might have fucked up something. What did you do? I swear, if you actually fucked up, like, horribly. Especially since the whole shtick is it seems you were just on drugs or something. And against drugs, but when you fuck up shit like this. Archive abuse. Mr. Tate, the mail concerns Apollo archive submission. Number 23,876. Your 666 submission in just 5 days. And, oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 accounts for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby coinciding your favorite Eastern European terror. What the fuck is with torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion? It truly warmed my heart to know that I've saved future humanity from the door of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. I'm gonna guess that's a human centipede. Don't worry, the Pasolonian material has already been preserved. Extreme perhaps, but art. For clarifying a concept that has been so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archives such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subject matter quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's favorite utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criteria. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Oof. That would fucking tear me up. Accordingly, I've directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on. Oh, I don't know, your assigned worth. We have a world to save, after all. Or the rest of us do, anyway. Well, that fucking sucks. I get the idea that, you know, you gotta keep stuff, but it's also like... Look, I understand that there are stuff that people would like to erase entirely about history. But there's a reason to have that shit recorded and all that. Just so that people can't say that it never happened. It's kind of what the whole point is, that we need to remember that World War II happened, or that World War One happen, or that Vietnam happened, stuff like that. Oh, because otherwise, if we just completely ignore that the things happen, we end up in situations where you completely
Looks like the only way onwards.
forget that the horrible shit happened, and that it would be a good idea to try to avoid it happening again.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Raleigh Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem, to say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Interesting. You guys not gonna... yeah, I screwed that one up. For F-Zero chambers, the ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. Their revelation, astonishing. I don't know what you had to give for Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it's worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risk of ECMO resolved, nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of F-Zero's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm gonna rest for a few hours and get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PBK. Let's see, email Patrick to development of the artificial persona for cradle servitudes, nurturers, disciplinarians, healers. Continue at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinary and healer persona. I have also attached the reports from an incident where servitude running the mother persona intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior, a parental argument, if you will, amusing at first glance, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings. Ingest data corruption, perhaps. Cradle sealed. Eleuthia 01 has successfully was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Providence could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good for our maiden voyage, a success. Please regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow on our future humans, but we can all agree there is a margin for refinement in future cradle populations. In addition to personally overseeing completion of Aleutian site inside Mount Namala, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within a week. We started this 30 minutes into this.
Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
Oh, Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office. Looks like it used to hold something. Some component that got removed.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability. You're a quick study, Gaia. Dr. Sobek. As I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event. Oh? And your assessment? Gaia? Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence. And yet, I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning? No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good. You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement. Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol? When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand. Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right? I'm fine. I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor. But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing? Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future. You really believe that? I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all.
What's that one joke? It's, like... Well, how do we know it's gonna work? Well, it'll either work, or we won't have to worry about it anymore.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Oh, some terrible news. I'm afraid Farnzine has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship and its crew and its cargo, zygotes and seeds, its alpha build of Apollo are all gone, are all lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for continuation of the human species in afterlife. We must succeed. Status? Yeah, we haven't really heard about that one, have we? Well, no, we did. It's coming along, Liz. I'm positive about it. Those words can still mean anything. Had my sleeves rolled up and negotiate with frozen zoo for the samples. So many species trapped in ghoulish holographic dioramas, suspended in what-ifs, more than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. Or, yeah. We started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere. Microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, fox and wolves. Thousands more that will have to wait their turn until a new generation can be entrusted the duty of restoring them, so they can return to the world that this time will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There's already too many too lates. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough in Marna. The samples we lost were irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the circle of life will bend, not break. Earth was a lifeless rock before. Someday it will be again. But not now. Not like this. Not on our watch. Onsen. Holy shit. That definitely has to suck.
Got too much already.
Losing your entire... Oh, God.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine.
God, you really can't shut up.
And why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
God fucking damn it.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
That's Helios. Okay.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
Discover the truth.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to
kill
die.
Why are you reaching for that one? Reach the bottom one.
And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events. You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
Some destiny. You're following orders, not some grand cosmic design. You're a puppet, with Hades yanking the strings, a pawn pushed around by larger forces. It'd be laughable if there weren't so much killing involved. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
Yeah. I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then enter this cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
Why butcher dozens of innocents for no gain? It's a waste of effort.
You're right. I won't even be there to enjoy it. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus. Such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile. So you see, this time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Ah, shit. Is Silent gonna actually fucking do something this time? Jesus through everything.
Karja faithful, rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold!
Oh, God.
Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, the Radiant Turan ordered many faithless, crushed beneath the hooves of the behemoth. Mighty is the behemoth in the eye of the sun, but it is mightier still, infused with the power of shadow. Let this one, who schemed and slithered, be the first to die. Let her be the first of thousands!
Oh, God. I really don't know how the hell we're gonna get out of this. If we're gonna get out of this.
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. Oh, my weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this room. Maybe I could use its strength against it.
Oh shit, that's right. You come at me!
That pillar's weak. Another hit, and that pillar will come down.
I can't get out of the fucking wall! Thank you. Okay, I get it.
He's coming.
What the fuck was that? Absolutely soaking wet. How's that for your fucking shit?
Silence! Shadows, kill her! Kill her!
Why leave it to them? Come get me yourself!
Hell yeah. Who do we got? There you go, you fucking ass. You're finally doing something. So he's not an AI, but still. Oh, hell fucking yeah. Fucking hell yeah.
So you're here. Really here. You risked your life.
Of course I did. If you'd been killed, Benora's sacred mountain would never have given up its secrets.
Yeah, whatever.
Too bad you wasted your time then. Helis destroyed my focus. And the Alpha Registry with it.
Not at all. The whole time I've been monitoring your focus, I've duplicated every data file you scanned. Installing that data to a new focus was trivially easy. Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
You're really good at making it impossible to like you, Silence. But I guess I need this.
It's time to see where you were born. Maybe you'll even learn why.
Yeah. Meet the machine that birthed me into this world. Isn't that how you put it?
I'll be off.
Wait.
Yes?
Helis recognized you back in the Sun Ring. You told me that you'd assisted the Eclipse. Not that you knew the man who killed my... who almost killed me.
So now you know. The man is a serious threat. So let's do all we can to make sure that he and Hades don't succeed.
Right. Since when can you override machines?
Ever since you discovered the technique. I had to destroy a corruptor to obtain the necessary parts, of course. But your example showed me how to do that as well. Yet another benefit of monitoring your activities through your focus. Truth be told, the underlying logic of the technique isn't so different from rites practiced by Banuk shamans. Though, of course, far more advanced.
Great. You're welcome, I guess. How did you track my location when I wasn't wearing a focus?
I mean, to be honest, we really didn't go anywhere.
It doesn't take a genius to surmise that Helis would throw you into the Sun Ring at high noon. I wore out 2 striders getting you in time.
Damn.
Now be on your way.
I'll be on my way. To make matters worse, Helis ordered an Eclipse detachment to attack the Nora Sacred Land. The tribe's already weak. They won't stand a chance. You should come with me.
Well, absolutely not.
Yeah,
I have preparations to make elsewhere.
What kind of... Why do I bother asking? You're not gonna tell me.
When the time is right, I'll be in touch. I'll contact you later. In the meantime, should you need to return to Shadow Carja territory, I brought armor to conceal your identity.
You think of everything, don't you?
One of us has to.
Wait, did I finally get the shadow armor?
Aloy. When you were recovering the Alpha Registry down in the Zero Dawn bunker, I was needlessly cruel.
Yeah, you think?
For your sake, I hope there is someone waiting there for you inside the mountain. Not a what, but a who.
Yeah!
Fuck. What happened here? I think that was the game because I think what happened is that it did create a fucking mount that had been overridden by fucking Silas, but it generated it right there. So essentially it was just like, this, yeah. Oh god, yeah, that was fun. I will appreciate I did that on the first fucking try. Well, no, I did it on the second fucking try. But that's still way better than the fucking, motherfucking, what was it called? The stupid,
Let me know when I'm out with these.
Deathbringer movie one. Alright, save, and then manual save. We're almost to level 41. Alright. What is even the main quest at level-wise? 25, and we're level 40. I think we're a little over-leveled, but that's fine. I will say, that was definitely kind of fucking, especially since, like, there were quite a few points where I literally just brought forward fucking one, the heavy weapons, and I was just like, oh yeah, that fucking, where like all three of them had fire starters, and I'm literally just mowing down. I killed two of them. The third one literally just goes and hides in the corner. That was fucking actually pretty fun. That was really fun though. Fucking the fact I got this upgraded and it helped out immensely. Gave me time to fucking just grab shit. Not have to worry about that stupid fucking shit. Like, I don't know entirely if it would have been fucking worse or better. All I know is that I did fucking well with that fight.
What made these flowers?
Told you it was gonna be one of those ones. By its nature, it towers above the tangle of rivers. Don't say. It's a lot of dirt piled high without and the mist of dawn. The evening cloud draw their shadows across it. From the four directions you can look up and see it. Green and steep, wild.
And why? Meadow flowers. Huh. Well, why not?
Okay, when you are so full of sorrow that you can't walk, can't cry anymore, think about the green foliage that sparkles after the rain. When the daylight exhausts you, when you hope a final night will cover the world, think of the awakening of a one young child. That's the fun part. If you're gonna be like, oh, didn't you say blah 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 blah? We say this shit and then my ADHD fucking kicks in. And it's like, no, I'm not wanting to fucking give up. We're stupidly fucking close. Gee, in autumn's rain, the grasses rot and die. Below the steps, the June color is fresh. Full green leaves over the stem like feathers, and countless flowers bloom like golden coins. The cold wind moaning blows against you fiercely. I fear that soon you'll find it hard to stand. Upstairs, the scholar lets down his white hair. He faces the wind, breathes the fragrance, and weeps. Alright.
Okay, they're heading back.
I didn't fucking...
It was worse than
I didn't know there was a fucking cutscene.
Apocalypse shitstorm tour, day 10. So here's where I learned how the world would end. My second apocalypse in a year. Looks like there's a lot of construction going on now. Why would that be?
Oh shit, there's a ruin? I wonder why the fuck there was a cutscene though. Wait, what? Oh shit. That's why. Okay, so this just isn't accessible. This is something that I need to wait until the story. Okay, at least we got that vantage point. Alright, well, I just don't like the fact that I haven't really saved. Alright, I'm surprised when FAST sent me out here, and not just because the meeting was going to be held in real space. I was surprised to discover that anyone at FAST still I knew existed. When I returned to work after treatment, HR informed me that I'd been reassigned to the Vantage Project. It was exactly the professional death sentence I was expecting, the career equivalent of being sent into the red zone without an environmental suit. Everyone knew Vantage was one of those doomed projects FAST kept around solely for the purpose of assigning dead enders to, especially head cases like me who couldn't be summarily fired for fear of party litigation. Month by month, management was pile losers on a lost cause, then cancel the project and lay everyone off. A ship of fools sunk with a single torpedo ain't wrongful dismissal if it's just downsizing. I had nothing better to do, so I spent my time studying the tech. Chip design wasn't my forte, but I knew enough to admire what the engineers had accomplished with the Eternity chip. Store data was guaranteed to last 50,000 years or more, without degradation. As for the Vantage itself, the project was a little more than a failed marketing stunt. The idea was to promote the tech by burying unlocked Eternity chips at scenic locales around the world, public domain time capsules where enthusiasts could cache date-locked data. The project went as far as developing the Spikes portable drill applicators to sink the chips, then stall when grass hecklers encapsulates came in the market and stole Eternity's thunder. Anyway, I've been at Vantage 3 weeks when FASA unexpectedly sent me out for a real space meeting. Me, a den ender working a doomed project, dispatched to a high security fast R&D site outside King's Peak. Didn't make sense. Security put me in a small conference room, showed me the wait. It was downright claustrophobic, dim lights, bad ventilation, more like an interrogation room with one of those 90s cop fits. But what really got my attention was the noise coming through the walls, the non-stop bang and clattering of construction bots building something deep in the mountain, something big. The door opened, and some doofs wearing FAST badges filed in. I recognized one of them, Brad Anik, a military division's replication engineer I met when I first joined the company. I don't think he recognized me. He stared at the back of the room the whole time looking distraught. I was about to ask what the hell was going on when a woman with a job walked in. She didn't introduce herself, but she didn't have to. Oh shit, it is Sama! It was a former lead archivist of Odyssey, architect of the entire Homer project. Not a global celebrity by any means, but if you grew up following the Odyssey project like this, I did, you knew her on sight. Sat down and started talking, asking extremely precise questions about the upper range tolerance of the Eternity chips. Then she asked me to speculate about the feasibility of various upgrade paths. The interview lasted maybe 10 minutes, whereupon she thanked me for my time and left. Everyone else followed out after her. Security came for me a few minutes later and escorted me to my vert. The whole way back to FAST, I kept trying to figure what had just happened. What was Sama doing at classified Pharaoh R&D site? Asking me a question about the Eternity tech. It didn't add up. By the time I landed, I knew I wasn't going to give up until I puzzled it out. The worst that could happen was I get fired. That was going to happen anyway. It took a couple of days and some geo work, but I got a fix on Brad Anarch soon enough. He was going to a different bar every night, drinking to the point of blacking out. I shadowed him until I managed to proxy his focus and dupe his net protocols. I didn't find anything strange in his financial records or media patterns. I was starting to think I wasted my time. Then I accessed his Dreambox account and found the journal he's been keeping the past few weeks. It's all there. How the world would end. My first thought was, well, at least my mom didn't live to see this. My second thought was that nothing mattered anymore, which made it pretty obvious that I should kill myself. I will say that was definitely extremely fun. The kind of the payoff for the whole with the Helios stuff, where it's just like fucking you know, there's this entire like fight and it's like, oh well, the Behemoth's gonna fuck you up real bad.
Take a look at
And
these
it's like, I mean, I've taken them on quite a bit. And then it's just like, alright. Especially since the first bit is just literally dodge until you can get safely out of there. And it's just like, boy,
my family might still
do you know what I've been
and you're going
doing?
to stand here and do nothing?
Just
lost a
dodge
dozen
and-
patrols beyond them.
Okay, season of mist and mellow fruitfulness. Closed bosom, friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit. The vine that the thatch thieves run to bend the apples, the moss cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and pump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel budding more, and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease. Oh, that's right. Isn't the thing now that I have an infinite call time? That's right. Okay, so I can literally just override. I wonder if you can override multiple machines. Now the cordial clouds have shut all in, and gently swales the wind to say, all is well. All is well. The scattered drops are falling fast and thin, some in the pool, some in the flower bell. I am well drenched upon my bed of oats, but see that globe comes rolling down its stem. Now, like a lonely planet, there it floats, and now it sinks into my garment's hem. I'm pretty sure that the Stormhawk, or that the Stormbird is, yeah, I need Zeta. Which, last I checked, I'm pretty sure Zeta is this one, right? Yes. Okay, then yeah, that would make it so incredibly easy. Especially since it seems like you can have multiple, of the fucking things. That'd definitely be very helpful in fucking making it easier. That's another one completed. It may indeed be fantasy when I essayed to draw from all created things deep, heartfelt, inward joy that closely clings. Leaves and trace in leaves and flowers that round me lie, lessons of love and earnest piety. So let it be, and if the wide world rings in mock of this belief it brings, so will I build my altar in the fields, and the blue sky my fretted dome shall be. And the sweet fragrance that the wildflower yields shall be the incense I will yield to thee. The only God, and thou shalt not despise, even me, the priest of this poor sacrifice. That's another one completed. There are 4 left. Okay. The dust of many crumpled cities settles over us like a forgetful doze. But we are older than the cities. We began as mineral, merged into plant life, and into the animal state, and then into human. And always we have forgotten our former states, except in early spring when we slightly recall being green again. Whew. Even this morning, O swan, awake, arise, follow me. There is a land where no doubt nor sorrow have rule, where the terror of death is no more. There the woods of spring are abloom, and the fragrant scent he is borne on the wind. There the bee of the heart is deeply immersed and desires no other joy.
They must be Ossur. I've put their stamp on this place.
Okay, Mark A. When Dawn hyenas her hand with the blood of Horizon, let the new bride of the Golden Vial uncover her shining face. There we go. The sky face has turned dark. Don't believe a cloud has come. In the garden, snow changed the raven to a falcon of white. What design might the magic of cold display? Like a mirror, the pages of water is bound in ice. There we go. We have all the collectibles on this. Yeah, literally just fucking... I mean, there's quite a few quests to do. Definitely need to go to the All-Mother. So let's fast travel here. Why? Oh, there's a cutscene. Probably because we have to take down the warriors and all that. That would explain why we can't just fast travel there. Alright, save. And then I'm going to end it off here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jazz, like, subscribe, comment down below to see the video. Don't forget to hit the button. There's the button, right?